Let me ask you something. When was the last time you enjoyed a slice of cheese with your breakfast? Was it on toast, in a sandwich, or perhaps melted into your morning eggs? You probably didn't think twice about it. After all, cheese is often marketed as a good source of calcium and protein, especially for aging bones and joints. But here's the truth. For seniors over 60, two very popular types of cheese are quietly causing a storm inside your body. They are inflaming your joints, weakening your knees, and making that morning stiffness even worse. And the worst part? Most people think these cheeses are healthy, that they're helping with bone strength, that they're essential for aging. But science and real stories say otherwise. In today's video, I want to reveal the real reason some seniors can't get out of bed without groaning, and how a simple morning habit, like the kind of cheese you eat, could be one of the biggest triggers of joint pain you've been overlooking. Stay with me because the damage happens slowly, and it's not just about pain, it's about mobility, independence, and quality of life. So if you or someone you love eats cheese regularly after 60, please listen carefully. This might be the most important message you hear today. My name is Dr. John, and I've been working with senior patients for over 20 years. I've seen all types of joint pain, knee pain, hip pain, swollen ankles, back pain. But over the years, I noticed something strange. Two of my most active and energetic patients both began experiencing severe morning stiffness. They walked with more effort, took longer to get up from chairs, and started skipping their daily walks. At first, we blamed age, but when I reviewed their daily habits, something jumped out. They had both started adding a new kind of cheese to their morning meals. Every single day. And when we removed it, their stiffness reduced, mobility returned, pain levels dropped. Now, that wasn't just a coincidence, it was the start of something bigger. So let's break it down. Why would cheese, something loaded with calcium, be bad for aging joints? Isn't it supposed to support bones and strength? Yes, in theory, but not all cheeses are created equal. Some cheeses, especially the ones I'm about to mention, are loaded with inflammatory compounds. They're high in sodium, saturated fats, and histamines. And most dangerously, they contain a type of protein called Casein A1. This protein, found in certain dairy products, triggers an immune response in many seniors. It mimics inflammation. And if you already have arthritis or joint pain, this extra trigger is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Let me tell you about my patient Martha. Martha is 72. She lives alone, gardens every weekend, and used to walk 5 kilometers every morning. But about 6 months ago, she came in complaining that her knees felt like they had rusted overnight. She tried anti-inflammatory pills. She applied warm compresses. She even started swimming to ease the pressure on her joints. But nothing worked. During our consultation, I asked her to walk me through her day. That's when she said it. I've started eating this soft, creamy cheese every morning on crackers. It keeps me full. I asked her to stop eating it for 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. She called me 10 days later. Doctor, John, I got out of bed this morning without pain. What was the cheese? Brie. Delicious, creamy, and full of flavor, but also high in saturated fats, histamines, and the very proteins that aggravate joint tissue. Now let's get specific. The first cheese you must avoid is brie or any soft ripened cheese. Why? Because they contain high levels of histamines, which trigger inflammation, swelling, and pain. If you already have joint stiffness, histamines will make it worse. Brie is also rich in sodium and creamy fats, both of which worsen water retention and stiffness in the knees, ankles, and hips. I know it's hard. Brie feels comforting, luxurious, and easy to eat. But for seniors over 60, it's a hidden danger. And it's not just brie, camembert, blue cheese, gorgonzola. They all fall into the same inflammatory category. Now, the second cheese to avoid is even more popular. It's served in sandwiches, tossed into salads, and melted on burgers. Processed American cheese. Yes, those individually wrapped yellow slices that seem harmless, they're anything but harmless. These are not real cheese. They are heavily processed, filled with emulsifiers, artificial preservatives, and colorants. And the worst offender? Sodium phosphate. This chemical is linked to joint deterioration and bone density loss in older adults. Studies have shown that high phosphate levels in the blood, common in seniors who eat processed cheese, can disrupt calcium absorption. That means the very thing you're eating for stronger bones could actually be stealing calcium from your skeleton. Isn't that shocking? But it gets worse. American cheese slices also contain a type of trans fat hidden in the partially hydrogenated oils on the label. These fats directly promote inflammation in joint tissue. They affect not just the joints, but your arteries too, reducing circulation to the legs and increasing stiffness during the night and early morning. One of my patients, Mr. D'Souza, age 68, had no idea his 2 slices of American cheese on toast were causing his morning leg cramps. We replaced them with a small helping of ricotta and a boiled egg. Just 2 weeks later, he could walk without limping, and his blood markers for inflammation dropped by 30%. Now, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to help you take back control. The good news? There are alternatives. We'll talk about them in this section. The cheeses that actually support joint health, the best ways to eat them, and how to pair them with anti-inflammatory foods for stronger legs, better posture, and a happier morning. But before we get there, let me ask you something important. Do you know someone over 60 who eats cheese every day? A spouse, a friend, a parent? Please share this message with them. Let's protect our community together. And if this information helped you, please consider subscribing to Health Sync. We're here to bring you daily science-backed tips to age with strength, grace, and independence. Stay with me. I'll share the top 3 cheeses seniors should eat instead, plus a simple morning breakfast idea that can reduce inflammation naturally. We just talked about the 2 most dangerous cheeses for joint health after 60, brie and processed American cheese. These are inflammatory landmines. They look harmless, even comforting, but inside your body they're silently increasing pain, stiffness, and inflammation. Now in this section, I want to flip the conversation. Let's talk about what to do instead. Let's talk about the cheeses that are safe, even healing, for aging joints. And we'll also discuss how to pair them with anti-inflammatory foods to create a breakfast that actually supports your knees, hips, and spine. So, what makes a cheese good for joint health? There are 3 things I always look for. Number 1, low in sodium and saturated fat. Number 2, rich in calcium and easy to digest proteins. Number 3, contains probiotics or anti-inflammatory compounds. With that in mind, let's look at 3 cheeses I do recommend. These are the ones I often suggest to my patients, and I've seen real improvements. The first one is ricotta. Ricotta cheese is light, creamy, and extremely easy to digest. It's made from whey, a protein that supports muscle preservation and healing. Whey doesn't contain the same inflammatory proteins found in other cheeses. And more importantly, ricotta is naturally low in sodium and fat. Just 2 tablespoons can give you a boost of protein without clogging your joints. It also pairs beautifully with anti-inflammatory foods like olive oil, berries, or turmeric. Let me give you a quick example. One of my patients, Clara, she's 74 and struggled with daily knee pain. She had been eating cheddar every morning. I switched her to ricotta with half a banana some cinnamon, and a few almonds. Within 1 week, she was walking farther. Within 3 weeks, she reported a lightness in her legs. That's the power of food synergy. It's not just what you eat, it's how the foods work together. Now, the second joint-friendly cheese is goat cheese. Yes, goat cheese. This may surprise you, but here's the science. Goat milk contains a different kind of casein, a 2-casein, which is much less inflammatory than the A1 casein found in cow's milk. In fact, many seniors with arthritis or chronic joint pain find that switching from cow cheese to goat cheese leads to reduced stiffness within weeks. Goat cheese is also rich in probiotics, which support gut health. And there's a clear link between gut health and systemic inflammation. Here's something fascinating. A study from the Journal of Inflammatory Diseases showed that seniors with better gut diversity reported lower joint pain and higher mobility scores. That's because 70% of our immune system lives in the gut. If your gut is inflamed, your joints will be too. So, adding goat cheese in small amounts can gently reduce inflammation from within. Try it in a salad with spinach, walnuts, and olive oil, or spread it on a slice of whole grain toast with tomato and basil. Simple, healing, powerful. Now, the third cheese I recommend is Parmesan, but not just any kind. Look for authentic aged Parmesan, also known as Parmigiano Reggiano. Why this one? Because it's aged for over 12 months, which reduces lactose and breaks down inflammatory compounds. It becomes easier to digest, and just a small sprinkle, less than a tablespoon, provides a calcium boost without triggering inflammation. Aged Parmesan also contains compounds that promote bone mineralization, which is essential for joint stability in seniors. But remember, you only need a little. Use it as a topping, not the main ingredient. I recommend combining it with broccoli or spinach sautéed in turmeric and garlic. These ingredients work together to reduce stiffness and nourish the joints. Now let me share a common question I get. Dr. John, can I just take calcium supplements instead of cheese? The answer is yes, but food is more than nutrients. It's information. Your body reacts differently to real food because it comes with enzymes, fiber, and natural cofactors. Supplements can't replicate that. Another question, what if I'm lactose intolerant? Great question. In that case, you should avoid most dairy, but you can try lactose-free options like aged goat cheese or plant-based alternatives. Some of my patients use almond-based ricotta, which has a similar texture and can be combined with berries and flaxseed. Now let's build a sample anti-inflammatory breakfast together. This is something I often share with my patients. Here's what it looks like. 1 slice of whole grain toast spread with a thin layer of goat cheese, topped with fresh tomato slices and basil. On the side, steamed spinach with olive oil and garlic, and a small cup of warm turmeric tea. Optional, a tablespoon of ricotta mixed with blueberries and cinnamon. This breakfast has anti-inflammatory herbs, garlic, turmeric, basil, gut-friendly protein, goat cheese, ricotta, low glycemic carbs, whole grain toast, and antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables. Compare this to a typical senior breakfast of white bread, processed cheese, and bacon, and you can see the difference. One inflames, the other heals. Now I know changing food habits isn't always easy, especially when we've been eating a certain way for decades. But small changes lead to big results. Just swapping 2 slices of processed cheese for goat cheese and basil can reduce morning joint pain by 20 to 30% in just weeks. Let me tell you about Mr. Iyer. He's 76, retired engineer, and very skeptical of dietary changes. His wife insisted he try my 7-day anti-inflammatory breakfast. He laughed the first day. By day 4, he said, "Doctor, I think I forgot to groan when I got out of bed today." By day 7, he walked without his cane. I'm not claiming a miracle, but this is what real food can do. And you deserve that too. In next segment, I'll reveal 3 silent signs your current diet may be triggering joint inflammation, plus a few commonly eaten foods that most seniors think are safe, but aren't. We'll also go into which herbs and spices you should keep in your kitchen at all times. So if you're finding this helpful, please consider subscribing. We're building a community of seniors who want to live stronger, move better, and age with confidence. I'm so proud of you for staying with me through this journey, because knowledge is power. And when it comes to joint pain after 60, the smallest shift in awareness can lead to the biggest transformation in your daily comfort. In segment 1, we expose the 2 cheeses silently triggering joint pain in seniors. In segment 2, we replace them with healing options like ricotta, goat cheese, and aged Parmesan, and built a full anti-inflammatory breakfast that supports your knees, hips, and spine. Now, in this final section, let's bring it all together. We'll look at the hidden signs that your current diet is quietly feeding inflammation, the foods most seniors think are harmless, but are secretly worsening stiffness, and the herbs and spices that I personally keep in my kitchen for my older patients. Let's start with something subtle. Have you ever noticed that some mornings you wake up with swollen fingers or puffy ankles, and other days you don't? That's not just normal aging. That's a signal. Your body is communicating that something you ate in the last 12 to 24 hours triggered your immune system. And here's the truth. Most seniors don't associate swelling with food. They think it's their mattress, their shoes, or the weather. But in many cases, it's what was on their plate. The inflammation doesn't start in your joints. It starts in your gut, then travels through the bloodstream and settles in your weakest tissues, which for many seniors is the knees, the hips, or the lower back. Here are 3 silent signs that your food choices are increasing joint inflammation. Number 1, you wake up with stiff or swollen hands. This is often linked to a high sodium load, especially from processed cheeses and packaged meats the night before. Number 2, your legs feel heavy or tight in the morning. This is common when eating foods high in saturated fats like brie, cheddar, or fried breakfast items. These fats slow circulation and increase overnight joint pressure. Number 3, you experience brain fog, fatigue, or irritability shortly after breakfast. This is usually a sign your breakfast is high in inflammatory triggers, such as trans fats, refined sugars, or Casein found in many dairy products. Now, let me share a few foods that often get labeled as senior-friendly, but can quietly worsen joint pain. First, low-fat flavored yogurt. It sounds healthy, but many of these contain added sugar and stabilizers like carrageenan, which has been linked to inflammation and digestive distress. Second, wheat breakfast biscuits. They're often full of preservatives, vegetable oils, and even hidden MSG derivatives, which are joint irritants in many seniors. Third, store-bought salad dressings. Even when poured over vegetables, these dressings often contain pro-inflammatory oils like soybean or canola oil. They cancel out the benefits of the salad itself. That's why I always recommend making your own dressing. Olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, and turmeric. Simple and powerful. Now, let's flip the script again. What can you add to your kitchen right now to start protecting your joints immediately? Here are my top 5 joint healing spices and herbs. Every senior should keep these in their spice rack. Number 1, turmeric. It contains curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory compound. Just a pinch in your tea or eggs can lower swelling and joint stiffness over time. Number 2, ginger, natural pain reliever and digestive aid. Try adding it to warm water in the morning or stir it into soups. Number 3, cinnamon. Not only regulates blood sugar, but also improves circulation. It pairs beautifully with ricotta or almond yogurt. Number 4, garlic. Reduces inflammatory markers and supports immunity. Use it generously when cooking spinach, eggs, or lentils. Number 5, black pepper. Enhances absorption of curcumin from turmeric. Use the two together for best results. Let me tell you about one last patient story. Mrs. Fernandez, age 78. She had tried everything: pain creams, massages, even acupuncture. Her morning routine was always the same: toast with processed cheese, a flavored yogurt, and coffee. We made 3 changes: swapped the cheese for goat cheese with tomato, replaced yogurt with unsweetened almond yogurt, topped with cinnamon and blueberries, and added a cup of turmeric ginger tea. 3 weeks later, she told me, "For the first time in years, I don't dread getting out of bed." That's not a miracle. That's food doing what it's meant to do: heal. Before we close, let me leave you with one final message. You are not too old to change. Your body is still listening. It's still adapting, still healing. Even now, and the choices you make today can rewrite the way you feel tomorrow. So please, revisit what's in your fridge. Read the labels. Swap the processed cheese slices for healing alternatives. Add herbs, spices, and natural proteins to your morning meals. And know this: you are not alone. Here at Health Sync, we are building a community of wise, empowered seniors who choose strength, not decline. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button. It tells YouTube this message matters. And if you haven't already, subscribe and join us. We're just getting started. Every week, we'll bring you another science-backed, emotionally grounded video to help you walk stronger, sleep deeper, and live better after 60. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, keep walking forward, one healing step at a time.